TheFilipinaPea here, telling it like it is. Well, it's time for a huge truth bomb on a matter so important, so essential to who we are as a species, that I'm sure to rattle the cages of a lot of people. And that's fine. Disagree with me all you want, but I'm still gonna tell it the way I see it. On today's topic, love's dirty little secrets. We all think we know what love is, an intense emotion involving attraction, both physical and emotional, that can cause feelings of euphoria at the mere sight of another person. It's also responsible for some very bad judgment and has made many people wreck their lives in pursuit of it. Because attached to the feeling of love comes its evil stepsisters, jealousy, insecurity, and desperation. And the funny thing is, even though it's such a basic need in almost all of us, it can be very hard to tell when you're actually in it. At what point does really liking someone and finding them incredibly attractive suddenly become love? Is there an objective measure, or do people just know when they're in it? Or is it all just a chemical reaction in the brain? A cruel trick played by Mother Nature. Well, today I'm gonna talk about the differences in the meaning of love between men and women, but more specifically about the very different way that Asians and Westerners handle the issue, because oftentimes we're speaking a different language, ending in tragedy for the unwary. Let's talk about the way men experience love and the things you tend to do when you're in it. You guys are typically attracted to a woman's physical appearance first, and she has to pass your requirements in this department before you look further and consider her for a serious relationship. Fortunately for us women, you all have different tastes, from a shy librarian with glasses to the blonde with big boobs behind the counter at the 7-Eleven. Attraction is a fickle master, but you always follow its orders. You can't help it, but it means that you often ignore the warning signs that are just below the skin. It's not that you don't see a woman's personality flaws, but you're more willing to overlook the poison if it's hidden beneath an irresistible candy coating. In the wild, different species of animals use preening behavior to attract a mate. Some birds trot around showing their tail feathers to the females. Some fish demonstrate how quickly they can make a nest for the female to lay her eggs in. And all these displays are designed to show that the male has what the female wants. And when human males preen, what do? They talk about their incomes, or their expensive car, or their high-status jobs. You guys preen using your power and wealth. You do it instinctively, because you know that's what the female wants. Isn't it interesting then that you often criticize females for being interested in the exact thing that you used as bait to get us in the first place? The bottom line is, you can't help the methods you employ to attract us, and we can help being attracted by it. That's why you keep doing it, because it works. But once the chase is over and the relationship becomes serious and love begins to form, men react to it differently than women. Now here's an important truth bomb for you ladies. Believe it or not, generally speaking, once a man is deeply in love with you, he's more likely to love you for life. He may cheat on you, yes, but it's usually because his sexual needs aren't being met. Or he wants variety that's not present in your relationship, but it often has nothing to do with love. Yes, he may sometimes leave you for a younger or different woman, but it's rarely because he doesn't love you anymore. He's typically not looking around to replace you with a better woman. If his needs are met, he usually won't leave you. If men were always looking to upgrade, then why are nearly 80% of divorces initiated by the woman? I'll come back to that point later, but now let's look at the female side of things. Women know that men can be disarmed with the physical, so we often get your attention with displays of youth, beauty, and sexuality. A woman preens with her body, and that's why every year, billions of dollars are spent on cosmetics to make sure we look the best we can. Just like the men, we know what you want and we're instinctively driven to tempt you with it. But Mother Nature has given us a secret weapon that many men still don't know about. Heck, many women don't know about it, even though it has a massive impact on the way the two sexes interact. It's a hormone called oxytocin. sometimes called the love hormone. While the brains of both sexes produce it, it's more highly concentrated in females. It has a lot of different uses, but its main function is to strengthen social bonds. And get this, feelings of attachment and love. It's been discovered that when a couple has sex, the female releases a potent dose at her man, causing him to feel more attached to her. In fact, a recent study found out that oxytocin helps to keep a man faithful to his partner by activating the reward centers in his brain. So there you have it, guys. We even drug you to keep you in love. It reminds me of that scene from the first Harry Potter movie where Professor Snape says, "I can teach you how to bewitch the mind and ensnare the senses." And it also brings to mind uncomfortable images of Venus flytraps and Black Widow spiders, with you men as the unwitting prey. But it's not like we do it on purpose. We can't help it. Blame it on Mother Nature again. But notice how our chemical warfare tactics are designed to keep you more faithful, not us. It's almost like Mother Nature wants us ladies to keep our options open. And this brings me to another nasty little truth bomb and another one of love's dirty little secrets, the concept of hypergamy. Hypergamy is a woman's natural tendency to want to marry up to form a bond with a man whose money, power, or social status is the highest she can attain. That sounds reasonable and forgivable when she's choosing a mate, but what you'll often find is that a woman continues to be tempted by other men whose value is greater than yours. Just like you're tempted by other pretty women but wouldn't leave your wife. Your wife is attracted to more powerful men than you. It's just the way it is. Want proof? Ask any guys you know if they want to have sex with Rosie O'Donnell if they had the chance. Most of them would say, "Oh no, thank you." But ask women if they'd sleep with Danny DeVito, and if they'll tell you the truth, a much higher percentage of them would say yes. Why is that? Because men are attracted to looks, and women are attracted to power and resources. So now that we've talked about the nature of men, women, and love, let's add the distinctly Asian perspective to the mix, and how it's different. Let's say you're a Western male who's fallen in love with a Filipina. How do you show it? Well, you've been brought up with the Western concept of chivalry. You open doors for a woman, protect them from the rain with your umbrella, and you give up your seat so that a woman can sit down. You believe that love is a pure emotion. It's the ultimate goal all by itself, and has nothing to do with net worth, social status, and past behavior in a mate. You've even been told that love conquers all. Well, I hate to tell you, but that's not exactly the way it is here. Keep thinking that way, guys, if you want to get taken to the cleaners and left by the side of the road like yesterday's trash. Here, love is a little more complicated than that. I said in a previous video that Filipinas don't need you to be rich to fall in love with you, and that's absolutely true. But that doesn't mean that the nasty beast hypergamy is gone for good. Not only is it a woman's nature, but in this part of the world where money and status are even bigger considerations than they are in the West, a Filipina's family can even jump on the bandwagon too. Yup, get ready for another truth bomb. A lot of people watching this video will deny it, but I know it's true. The family of your Filipina may actually push the concept of hypergamy on her while she's dating you, even after you two have formed a solid, healthy relationship. In the West, once two people have declared their love for each other, it's usually hands off for everyone else who respect your union and your decision to be together. Sure, you may have feuds with your mother-in-law who somehow doesn't think you're good enough for her daughter, but it's rare to find too much interference after that. Unless there's an actual problem in your relationship, like drinking, domestic violence, or mental instability. Not so here, guys. Many Filipino mothers will continue to keep their eyes open for a better match for their daughter, even if she's in a stable, loving relationship with someone already. To them, the feeling of romantic love that their daughter may feel has little to do with which man they endorse. You Western guys don't get it because it's so alien to you. You didn't do anything wrong. You've treated your Filipino well and plan to marry her. And yet, you've got someone working behind the scenes, rooting for someone else. Now, I'm not saying that every mother here is a relationship assassin, but what I am saying is that in this culture, it's far more acceptable to meddle in your daughter's affairs when it comes to choosing a mate. And it's not based on how you treat her, but what you can do for her and her family. Now, I just hear a lot of you sitting at home yelling at the screen, "You're wrong, P. I don't care at all how much my guy makes, and I would never think of leaving him. And my mother loves my husband and never tried to talk me out of him." Well, obviously, not every relationship will be affected by the points I'm raising here, and all cases are different, but your one experience with your partner does not set the rule for everyone else, and does not prove that I'm wrong in a general sense. All it means is that you don't fit the mold, not that the mold doesn't exist. Hypergamy exists. The nature of men and women exists. It's just that sometimes women seem to understand the rules a little better than the guys do. Can you imagine what would happen if you told your Filipina that you just hired a ridiculously hot young woman to come live with you to help you with the cooking and housework? She'd have no problem saying, "Oh, no, you're not. I know exactly how that would end, and you can just keep your feather duster in your pants." Because she knows a man's nature. She knows what attracts him, and she's gonna protect her territory. But let's reverse things. Let's say your wife wants to invite a new neighbor to join your circle of friends to your Tuesday night card games. He's a single expat who just made a smart move in a stock market. Do you think you'd say, "No way, honey. He just substantially increased his net worth and added 80,000 to his 401k. I don't want him anywhere near you"? No, you wouldn't say that. But why not? So why am I telling you all this? What is the point? Well, it's no secret that my audience on this channel is over 90% male and Western. But that doesn't mean that I'm just gonna tell you what you wanna hear. When some of you act like pigs, I'll call you out on it. Just like what I did in my sexpat video. But in this case, I'd rather be dealing with a predictable pig than a sneaky relationship assassin that I didn't see coming. And if you're not watching for it, it can happen to your relationship too. Knowing the true nature of men and women, and especially how things work in this part of the world, can help you big time. Be careful, my friends, of love's dirty little secrets. So thanks for joining me today, and I'll be back this weekend for something unpredictable. Stay tuned, and I'll see you then. Hi, Michael.
Michael, let's pull up his stats.
Dinner tomorrow night? Where?
Let's see. Profession, stockbroker. Income, 98,000. Sexual performance score, 9.2.
Okay, Michael. See you there. Oh, hello, Pete. What's new?
Like I care. Okay, occupation, CEO. Income, 1.8 million. Sexual performance score, 2.1.
That's really interesting, Pete. Tell me more. What, Mom? Just talking to Pete. Yeah, that Pete. No way. I'm going out with Michael. Because I don't like Pete. He has bad breath. Well, if you like him so much, why don't you go out with him? Huh? Okay, fine. Hey, Pete. There's a nice lady that wants to talk to you. Just a sec. Oh, I'm sorry, Dad. But that's how it works. But you really were a good dad. Okay, Pete, you there? Okay. She's 45, black hair, brown eyes. Only been married once, but she'll be getting an annulment soon, and she's really great with kids. She's got no health problems aside from a drinking problem. But everybody's got something, right? Anyway,